Chapter 9, using his quote, everything from how he introduced himself in the Lincoln-Douglas debates, where he said, "I have no intention of making voters or jurors of Negroes or allowing them to hold office or to intermarry with white people. There's a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races of living together in terms of social and political equality. But as long as they must remain together, there must be the distinction of superior and inferior. And I, as much as any other man," said Abraham Lincoln, "believe that the superior position belongs to the white race." Abraham Lincoln was a blatant, unapologetic, self-proclaimed white supremacist. Until the day he died, he did not have any intention of allowing black people to be a part of society. The clause in the 13th Amendment allowed our criminal justice system, our police force, our courts, our judicial process to remove the civil rights of people of color on a whim. This is why we have the highest incarceration rate of any country in the world. Thank you, Abraham Lincoln, because that's where slavery is still legal. Chapter 10 is even more jarring because Chapter 10 looks at Abraham Lincoln's policies towards Native peoples. And beginning in 1962 and going through 1964, Abraham Lincoln oversaw genocide after genocide, massacre after massacre of Native peoples, starting with the hanging of the Dakota 38 and the Dakota removal from Minnesota, going on to the Bear River Massacre of the Shoshone in northern Utah and southern Idaho, going on to the Long Walk of the Mescalero Apache and the Navajo people, my people in the Southwest, and concluding with the Sand Creek Massacre of the Cheyenne and Arapaho in eastern Colorado. A week after that last massacre, he pretty much said, "We're going to complete Manifest Destiny." Confidently. Well, if you put those massacres on a map and you trace out where the initial routes to the Transcontinental Railroad were going to go, he was literally ethnically cleansing the northern, central, and southern routes of the railway. The Bear River Massacre of the Shoshone in northern Utah and southern Idaho was a stone's throw from where the Golden Spike was eventually laid. When my people signed a treaty to come back from Bosque Redondo, the death camp that they placed us in, there was a clause in our treaty that stated we would not oppose the building of a railroad. Not only was Abraham Lincoln a blatant, unapologetic, self-proclaimed white supremacist, but he was also one of the most genocidal presidents in our nation's history. And we consider him to be our greatest president ever. He actually had a higher genocidal rate of Native peoples than Hitler had of Jews in Germany. At the end of that chapter, I make a direct comparison between Adolf Hitler and Abraham Lincoln. The primary difference between Abraham Lincoln and Adolf Hitler was technology. Hitler had more and better technology to massacre and commit genocide at a higher rate and better than Lincoln did. That's the primary difference between the two of them.